Well, happy new year, everyone. I hope this year brings you absolutely everything that you want, everything that you need, everything that you're aspiring to accomplish. But in order to do that, I want to give you some brief information, a brief message that will ensure that you accomplish the goals that you set for this year. Now, some of you are in the process of figuring out what those goals are going to be. Some of you set those goals already, but it doesn't matter where you are in the process. I think this information can help you make sure that you set the right type of goals or that you confirm that you have set the right kind of goals. And if not, we just go back to the drawing board and we make sure that we do what we need to do in order to ensure that we set ourselves up for success in this new year. So, what I want to hear from you is what are your top goals for 2024? You see, one of my goals for 2024 is to come on here live more often, to be more consistent. And that's not even a great goal right there, right? Because I need to get very specific. So I'm going to sit down and write down exactly how many times a month I'm going to go live, for how long, what am I going to do to add value to my people, to my community, to my circle, right? So I'm going to get very, very specific about those things, and you should too, right? But before you even get very specific about things that you need to do, what I want you to think about is the big picture. You got to go with the big picture first. Like, forget about, well, this is one thing that I want to accomplish. No, no, no. Let's look at the big picture. Let's go from far out first. Like, what do you want your life to look like in 2024? What do you want your life to look like? If you and I were sitting down here together a year from now and you were telling me, man, this is what 2024 looked like. I did this and this and this and this. And I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so excited that I didn't give up. I'm so excited that I pushed through and I did the things that I said I was going to do. What would have to happen over this next 12 months in order for you to feel excited about what this year was like? So think about it from that perspective. If you and I were sitting down a year from now, what do you want to be able to say to me that you accomplished and that it made it for a great year? Think of it about it big, from a big picture standpoint. From a big picture standpoint. So, how many trips do you want to go on? How many vacations do you want to take with your loved ones, with your family, with your kids? How many new clients do you want to work with? You know, uh, if you're a business owner, if you're in sales, again, what do you want your business revenue to look like? Your commissions to look like? How many people do you want to serve? Again, think big. A lot of people think that the purpose of a goal is to get something. Well, I have a goal to save $10,000, or I have a goal to get a new car or to get a new house. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the true purpose of a goal is to help us grow, is to help us push and become better, to do something that we've never done before. If you set a goal for something that you've already done, that you know how to do, the growth that you're going to experience in 2024 is minimal. So if you want to get yourself to a whole new level in 2024, you want to make sure that you are achieving things that you've never done before, you have to become a different person. You have to level up yourself, right? And so think about, what are some things that you want to go after that you've never done before. Now, the trick is that they have to be exciting to you. They have to move you emotionally. Like, if you're not emotionally tied to the picture, to the idea, to that vision, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's why a lot of people, they set these New Year's resolutions. They're like, you know what, man, I would like to lose 10 pounds this year, or I want to make more money, right? The reason those goals, those resolutions, you can't even call them goals. The reasons those resolutions don't work is because they're not emotionally involved with it. The person is not emotionally involved with the goal. They're just going at it from a standpoint of like, this is what I've tried to do before. It didn't quite work before, but I think I'm going to set that resolution again. No, 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 no. Like, I want you to think, what do you want your life to look like? What would get you excited about 2024? And then set goals that excite you and scare you at the same time, because it's something that you've never done before, but it's something that you truly want to make sure that you make it happen, right? And so start writing things down. Start writing things down. Some of these things that you write down, they might seem illogical. They might seem illogical to other people. They might seem illogical to you. You might be like, Kev, man, I did 20 transactions last year. I just felt like I want to do 50. That's not logical. Like, everybody told me that I need to grow incrementally. When not, this is not the moment for incremental thinking, for small thinking. There's a time for that, and we'll get to that. But right now, what I want you to think about is, what is something that when you think about accomplishing it, you get excited, truly excited, that you're like, man, like, I can feel it. Like, I get excited. I want to start taking action toward that goal. If you set a goal right now and you don't feel compelled to start taking action toward that goal, even in some small shape or form, it's not the right type of goal. You're not in the right direction. You're not moving in the right direction. Your goal has to move you so strongly emotionally that you cannot wait to start taking action. And you start taking action right now. Now, you might say, Kev, it's January 1st, man. I can't start calling on prospects or clients right now. Maybe, but why not? You can send some messages, Happy New Year, just start getting in contact, or you can just start planning your prospecting, your marketing, creating your marketing plan, your prospecting plan for the next few days, the next few weeks, this quarter, right? I like to run on 90-day sprints, right? The year is a marathon, but I like a sprint. So every 90 days, I'm running after something. I'm running after something. Every 90 days, I'm chasing something. Now, you might say, well, I already have my annual goal is to do 500,000 of revenue, or a million, or 2 million, whatever the number is for you, right? And then you take that annual goal, break it into quarterly goals. That's it. I mean, like, the reason for this is that when we focus on short sprints versus this long marathons, we are performing at a high level for the most part, because there's a sense of urgency. I don't have 12 months to make this happen. I have 90 days. When you want to increase the sense of urgency, you shorten the time horizon. You shorten the time horizon. Goes for anything. If you want to lose 25 pounds in 12 months, you're going to do different things if you want to do it in 90 days. If you want to save $10,000 or $25,000 in 2024, then you're going to save a different amount of money if you want to make that goal happen in 12 months versus 90 days. It's very simple. You want to increase the sense of urgency, you decrease the amount of time you give yourself to accomplish that goal. I love some of these things. Reading one book per month, run 6 days per week. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Getting back on the Peloton in 2024. You don't have to tell me twice. Follow me. I'll have to put out my username. I even forgot it right now, but put my username out there so we can connect on Peloton. I mean, like, this is a great time to reset, to get excited about what we're creating, right? Because we have to be intentional about our lives. If we want 2024 to be like nothing we've ever experienced before, we have to do things differently. If we're not intentional, we're going to be reactive. We're going to let other people, circumstances, situations dictate what we do on a daily basis. And what we do on a daily basis adds up to what our lives are like in 2024. So we have to be proactive. Today matters. Today matters. That's a good mantra to live by. Don't be thinking, well, it's a holiday, it's January 1st, so I don't have to do anything. Like, you can still make progress toward your goals every single day. Doesn't mean that you go all out crazy 12, 14 hours at the office on January 1st. That's not what I'm saying. Now, you may want to do that. You may have started early this morning and you're like, Kev, I got up at 4. I've been working out. I've been doing things like I'm already crushing the goals. Let's go. Great for you. Congratulations. Keep it up. Keep it going. Right. It's not about intensity for a day or 2 or 3 like most people do. Right. It's January 1st. The gym is probably packed. Right. Because everybody says, oh, I'm going to get in better shape this year. But then what's going to happen when you walk in there in 2 weeks? If you're one of the few that are still walking in there in 2 weeks, it's empty again, right? Because people, they say, you know what, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to focus on this goal right now. And they get excited. They get intense about it. They build that intensity. They show up. They do it for a day or 2 or 3, and then they stop. Then they stop, right? I don't want this to be you. I don't want this to be you. You have to forget about setting these New Year's resolutions that whether they happen or not, oh, well, it is what it is. No, that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about real goals that you're committed to. In order for you to know that it's the right type of goal for you, you have to make sure that it excites you, that you're compelled emotionally to take action by it. I already mentioned that before. But then you have to be willing to pay the price. And that's where being emotionally tied to the goal makes a big difference, because if you are so excited about this goal that you're like, I'm going to make it happen no matter what, I'm going to pay whatever price is necessary to accomplish this goal, then you're going to make it happen because there's no other option. There is no other option. Quitting is not an option. Giving up is not an option. When it's the right type of goal, you're committed. You don't find excuses. You don't find alibis. You focus on getting the results that you want. And it doesn't matter what you need to make happen. You make it happen. You pay the price. Every single day, you pay the price. You get on the Peloton bike. You get on the treadmill. You go outside for a run, even when it's cold. You do what you have to do to accomplish your goal. That's why nobody should be telling you what your goals should be. I'm not here to tell you what your goals should be. You should be deciding what your goals are, and no one else. It's not about what your spouse wants for you, or your kids want for you, or your family wants for you, your employer, or your employees, or whoever. It's not about any of that. It's about what you want. Because true success in life is about living life on your terms, being honest with yourself about what you want. You can succeed at everything that other people want for you and expect from you. But if you don't feel satisfied, if you don't feel the satisfaction, if you don't feel satisfied, I don't know what was that. If you don't feel the satisfaction that comes with achieving those goals, then can you really call yourself successful? Can you really say, I am successful? And it's not about the size of the business or the savings account or whatnot. It's not about that. It's about you being honest with yourself about what you want and making the uncomfortable decisions and taking the uncomfortable action necessary to achieve those goals. No matter how much friction it creates with your team, with your employees, with your loved ones, when you go after something that you've never done before, there's guaranteed friction is going to happen. There's going to be friction, no doubt about it, because every single person that's around you, you've attracted to you based on your level of thinking at the time. So when you change the way that you're thinking, you're changing the way that you're behaving and acting. That's going to impact the people around you, and it's going to create change. And people don't like being changed. People don't like when you change things up on them. They're used to this version of you. They're used to you, being soft spoken, not speaking up, not being bold and assertive about what you want. They're comfortable with that. And if your goal is to keep the peace, then you might succeed at that. But most likely, if you're the type of person that has been following me on here, engaging with me, talking, we have a good relationship, you're not the kind of person that is just looking for peace. I'm not saying that you go out and you just want to like make people's lives a nightmare. That's not what I'm saying either. But what I'm saying is that when you go after a goal, when you set a goal that is something bigger, larger than anything you've ever done before, you're going to have to show up differently. You're going to have to build confidence. You're going to have to be more assertive. You're going to have to be more bold. You're going to have to ask exactly for what you want. And people are not used to that. People are not used to that. Try it right now, today. Ask 5 people, what do you want for your life? And see how many people have a definitive answer, a clear answer, specific answer. I guarantee you, the majority of them won't. They'll stumble, like, I don't know, man, like I want to lose some weight. I want to make more money. Like, no, that's not clear, definitive. That's not a clear picture. You can lose a pound, you can get another dollar, you achieve that. So be clear, be specific. Like what do you want that life to look like in 2024? What would excite you? What is something on your bucket list that has been there for the last 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and you haven't given yourself permission to truly go after fully and commit to it? Maybe that trip to Africa to go on a safari. Oh man, like, oh, that's not logical. I can't be spending that kind of money. Why not? I'm not saying be reckless. I'm not saying be irresponsible. I'm saying go after it. Go after it. Commit to it. When you commit to it, when you make a decision, a true decision, meaning that you cut off other possibilities, there's no other options, there's no giving up, there's no excuses, no alibis. When you make a decision and you build the burning desire for that goal, and you persist and you keep going no matter what, you will attract the resources, the people, anything you need to make that picture a reality. I believe that. I believe that. But you have to be consumed, obsessed. Yes, I said it, obsessed with making that picture a reality. You see, the reason why it's so important to have a vision is because our mind works in pictures. When you give it a picture, it has a clear target and it knows what it is that you're going after. When you don't have a clear picture, a clear target, the mind doesn't know what it's supposed to be working on. And it's like a GPS. If you don't give it an address, it's useless, right? You have to know where you are. You have to know where you want to go so that then you can create the strategies, the tactics to get there. So start by creating a picture that compels you, that moves you, that gets you excited. Then share it with someone. Share it with me. Put it in the comments. Send me a message. Like, share it with someone. You must share it with someone. That builds accountability. That makes it more real. When you share that with someone, and let me just say this before you go share it with somebody, make sure that it's the right person. Don't share it just with anybody. Don't share it just with anybody. Do not share with people who are going to belittle you or make fun of you or say, you're crazy. Who do you think you are to be setting that goal or that, that's not going to happen. That's impossible. That's illogical. You do not need to listen to people that are going to be saying those things. You need to be extremely selective on who you share your goals with, but you must share them with someone because accountability improves performance, and we need accountability in our lives. I have mastermind groups, I have a coach, I have people that are holding me accountable every single week. And it makes me show up differently, it makes me show up to perform at a higher level because I don't want to let them down. I definitely don't want to let myself down. But when you share with someone and they want you to win, there's a different layer, there's a different level of accountability because now you want to make sure that you win. Set a goal that is bigger than anything you've ever done before. It has to scare you, it has to excite you at the same time. You have to be willing to pay the price, no matter what the price is. Might be time that you have to invest in learning a skill, developing a talent, improving a talent. It might be networking, connecting with new people that you haven't been comfortable networking with. It might have to be investing actual money into courses or coaching or mastermind groups or a digital program or whatever it might be. It might be all of the above. The larger the goal is, the most likely the investment is going to be greater. There's going to be more discomfort. You're going to be more uncomfortable. The larger the goal, the higher the reward. But you have to navigate that river of uncertainty. Nothing big is going to come to you. Nothing big is going to happen if you stay right in your comfort zone. So I want you to put it in the comments. I want to hear from you because I want to support you. What are your top goals for 2024? And I just want to hear two. I just want to hear two. One personal, one professional. And when I say 2024, Q1, first quarter of 2024, what for the next 90 days? What is your number one personal goal? What is your number one business goal, professional goal? Focus on two things at a time. One personal, one business. One could be your health. One could be your marriage. What could be your relationship with your kids? The other one could be a business, professional related goal, financial goal. I want to grow my revenue by this much. I want to work with this many clients. I want to have this many transactions, whatever that is, right? But one personal, one business. Do that for 90 days. Build up on that. Build up on that. If you develop a successful habit every 90 days or two successful habits every 90 days, imagine how different you would be by the end of this year. Imagine the power that you would build with the compound effect over the next 12 months, going into the new year, a completely different version of you, a completely different level. So remember, if it's in your head, it's not real. It's not real. You have to write it down. You have to write it down. You have to share it with people, with the right people. Write it down. Write down those goals. Make them real. Share them with someone. Allow them to hold you accountable. The goal has to scare you. The goal has to excite you. You have to be willing to pay the price. Can't wait to hear from you on those goals and how we can support you. And I wish you all the very, very, very best, most successful, most prosperous and healthy new year. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll talk soon.